My name is Sierra Pedri with Keller Williams in Old Town Alexandria, licensed to sell real estate in Virginia and Maryland. Please subscribe for weekly real estate updates. Okay, let's get started with today's video. We'll be discussing the 8 essential steps to become a realtor. Step number 1 is to find a really great pre-licensing school. So in order to sit for the test, you must take the pre-licensing course. You have 2 options. You can do it online or you can do it in person. For me specifically, I chose to do a month-long module where I met for 8 hours a couple times a week. And then after that, I also got a supplemental online study course from CompuCram. I wouldn't specifically use CompuCram if I was to go back. I would probably use the CE Shop just because the difficulty of that course is equal to PSI's actual real estate licensure exam. The second step to get your realtor license would be to pass the pre-licensure final exam. So once you're done with your pre-licensing course, they'll have a final exam, and once you pass that, PSI will give you permission to sit for the national and state tests. Our third step would be to register for your state and national test. So once PSI grants you permission, you would register for both the state and national exams to sit for those tests. They are separate registrations, and once you have that permission from PSI, you should be good to go. Now, your fourth step would be to pass both exams. For me specifically, I studied more of the national portion of the exam than the state portion, causing me to fail the state portion. So even though that the national exam has more information, more questions, and is a more difficult test, I would give an equal amount of time to both state and national, because if you do fail the state, then you'll have to pay to sit again for that test. Okay, our fifth step would be to get our fingerprints and our background check all squared away. So there's 2 different ways that we can do this. You can pick a PSI testing center that has the background and fingerprint options there, or you can go on to PSI's website and see what other locations they have that will offer the fingerprint and background check. For me specifically, I just went to a PSI testing center that had the fingerprints and background check right after I finished my test. The 6th step would be to interview with different brokerages. Me specifically, I interviewed with about 3 different brokerages. My pre-licensing course wanted me to sign with their specific marketing center, but I just interviewed and I told them that I would like to interview with other brokerages, which is what I did as well. I belong with KW, which I would recommend for someone who is really into technology and marketing, as opposed to older brokerages that don't utilize technology in their everyday businesses. Our 7th step would be to sign the contract with that brokerage. Now, I would, throughout the interviewing process, I would specifically ask what each brokerage has to offer you specifically in terms of splits and marketing as well. So what they will do for you in regards to the split. Then the next thing would be, in conjunction with signing with the brokerage, would be to register with the National Association of Realtors. In order for your sales associate license to be valid, you must have it registered with a brokerage, and that would be the only way for you to legally practice real estate. Our 8th step would be to register with specific real estate boards. Now, I have my Maryland and my Virginia real estate license, so I had to register with Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, NVAR, and then I also had to register with SMAR, Southern Maryland Association of Realtors. Those are separate registrations that you will need to practice in either Northern Virginia or Southern Maryland. So I would just specifically speak to your brokerage about what other registrations that you would need because they would know what you would need to practice real estate. Okay, that is the end of today's video. Hopefully it was informative, and if you do have any questions, because I know it's a lot of information and it seems a little bit complicated, please feel free to comment in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer your questions. And if you would like me to take one of these steps and make a whole entire separate video, I'd be more than happy to do that for y'all. Please hit the notification bell so you can have videos weekly, and let me know if you need anything.